Hey, it's Anthony from World of WWE, a WWE podcast. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. One, it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
You're listening to World of WWE, a WWE podcast.
Come on and fight back. Start it over again. We'll take it right back. From the ones we're again. It's time to rise up, even though they left us for dead. This is our last stop.
Hey everyone, you're listening to the World of WWE podcast. I'm Ant.
I'm Dan. And I'm Carlos.
And thank you for checking us out. You're listening to our Friday Night SmackDown, April 30th, 2021 recap. And it feels like April was so long ago because we're already in May 4th.
Yeah.
May the 4th.
It's Friday. It's only Tuesday. There's a lot of wrestling this month.
Can we please all together say May the 4th be with you, just so I can just
May
be
the
4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
I forgot about that.
My
I forgot
coworkers,
about that too. That's the sad part.
my coworker reminded me of it today, and I was like, May the 4th be with you. Are we Star Wars fans?
I'm not the biggest fan of them. If I'm being honest. I tried watching when I was little, but I watched them all because I want to see Sasha Banks and Mandalorian. So that's what convinced me to watch it.
Yeah, but you didn't really need to see any of those to see her character, right?
I saw all the Star Wars. I started from the first one all the way to then, and then I went to the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I saw a funny story, and then we're gonna go back to wrestling. When the new one came out, The Force Awakens, not the new one, but in 2014, I think it was 2014, Dory and we saw the new movie at 1 o'clock in the morning. I kid you not. And
You were really desperate to see it, aren't you?
But the thing is, I'm not a Star Wars, big fan,
You're not a fanboy.
Not at all.
I'm not either.
I was just excited because the idea of seeing Star Wars in a movie theater, and I think we had just gone to New York the night before or something. It was just a madhouse that year, but it was good, that movie. Anyways.
Well, I was actually gonna say I have a lot of unpopular opinions. I don't like Star Wars. I don't like Harry Potter. I don't know. I'm very weird, okay?
So you're not a fan. Speaking of Harry Potter, my librarian when I was in 8th grade, shout out to Jean Lawrence if you're listening. Jean was a huge Harry Potter fan. She loved, still to this day. And I remember she had this, Jean, I hope you're not listening now. She had this newspaper clipping in a, frame. And it was, a newspaper article of her in an interview about Harry Potter. And one day, a kid was messing around, and it fell and broke. And she was like, oh no, my picture. Made this whole big ordeal. So Jean, if you're listening, Dan doesn't like Harry Potter, so you might want to give him some detention. Yeah, nah, it comes, I don't know, I kind of like Harry Potter, but I'm not oh my god, I gotta go, my brother's, I'm not gonna, I'll tell the story, because it's not a bad story. She likes Harry Potter. She went, and she got the last book, The Deathly Hallows. She waited in line all night to get it. She literally read the book in one night. I need to go to sleep.
I don't have a lot of a popular opinion.
I love how you guys aren't even touching that one. Her wanting to read Harry Potter all night. Listen, I don't know. I hope she's not listening, but
She probably most likely isn't, but
I wouldn't do that. I would not read a book in one night because she was trying to. Her and her sister were trying to read it together, and so I guess she wanted to talk about it with her sister, but she finished it in one night. So, anyways, speaking of finishing things in one night, cool segue. Did we see the finishing moment, the last moment of Daniel Bryan's career on Friday Night SmackDown? Well,
let's be honest here. They're most likely going to bring him to Raw. Let's be honest here.
well, we'll have to talk about that. So what did you think of the new SmackDown opening? Did you pay any attention to that?
I didn't get to watch it, no.
How about you,
Yeah.
Carlos?
I think they did it before, but it was just they haven't done it in a while. But I think it was the same one.
Well, I noticed they had new wrestlers on, like Bianca Belair was featured more. They
You
had.
mean it up? Okay.
Yeah, they changed it up a little bit. So we find out that it is the first time in 4 months that the Universal title will be defended on a Friday Night SmackDown, which I don't know what to think about that. I mean, I don't think that's terrible, but
Also, I think the first time in 5 or 6 months that Roode Reigns competed on SmackDown.
Well, there you go. So we actually get right to the action to start us off. The WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair, and her man's tag team, the Street Profits, taking on the role model Bayley and the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Dirty Dogs, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. That's a lot to say, guys. This is actually, I actually was interested in this because you don't often see a lot of intergender matches. So watching it, I was like, yes, this is cool. Let me go ahead. Okay, I'll go over the quick notes and then we can talk about the match. So, basically, Bianca first welcomes everyone to the hottest show on Fox. The Dirty Dogs come down and they say that they are the best and the Street Profits are trash. Bayley comes down, grabs the mic, and laughs. And then Bianca slaps her, and then Bayley jumps on Bianca. And it's just like a pre-match brawl between the teams. Then we find out that next week, SmackDown will be a throwback edition, which we'll talk about after the match. So Bianca Belair attacks Bayley until Dolph Ziggler gets tagged in. Montez Ford hits a really cool flying senton outside. Dolph Ziggler super kicks Angelo Dawkins, and Bayley sends Bianca Belair into the ring steps. The Dirty Dogs are in control as Bayley slaps Montez Ford. Angelo Dawkins in control with a running bulldog and a spinning neckbreaker on Robert Roode. Bianca Belair does a really cool moment where she lifts up Dolph Ziggler and hits the kiss of death on Bayley. Bianca Belair then whips Robert Roode with her ponytail, which sounded terrible. And then Montez Ford hits a huge frog splash to get the win for their team. So, I'll throw it to Dan first. Dan, what were your thoughts on the match?
It was a good match. It showed everybody's potential, I guess, in a way. I mean, I wouldn't say it was the best match I've ever seen. It was certainly cool to see an intergender match, but it was alright.
Yeah.
I give it 5 out of 10.
Okay, 5 out of 10. How about you, Carlos? What are your thoughts?
I was also a fan of the intergender match. I thought it was something unexpected. I'm glad that we started with the action instead of it was a talking segment kind of, but we got straight to action.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that Bayley's finally starting to get some I guess not being treated like the way she's being treated in the last few months.
Yeah, it's really weird with the women's division because it's like you had Charlotte Flair off of WrestleMania and now she's in the Raw Women's title picture. You have Bayley off of the card, but now she's in the it's really strange. It's almost like they're trying to make up for what they didn't have, but it's really strange. I liked the match. I thought it was cool, but to be honest with you, I don't want to keep seeing Street Profits with Bianca Belair. I do like them, and I do think they are great together. But I really don't like it when husbands and wives or whatever are together on screen, unless it's like Triple H and Stephanie, because it takes away from the actual athlete. Kind of like Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, you know? When they were like together, everyone kind of looked at Seth Rollins kind of like a wimp, you know? It's like the man's boyfriend, you know? So, what do you guys think of that?
It was interesting.
I
don't
just,
have much for that. It was interesting.
yeah. I just think that they need to change it up. But it was a good match. Next, oh, and then let's talk quick about Throwback Edition of SmackDown. Do we have any ideas of like what they're gonna do? Do we think they're gonna change the stage?
I think that they're gonna bring the fish back.
I hope so. I love that.
That would be cool. I don't see why they would do that, but that would be cool.
Yeah.
Like someone asked him, like, are they gonna jump up? Said that yes.
I feel like if it was NXT, because Triple H does a lot of the old school pay-per-view sets, and I love that. I feel like if it was an NXT, I could totally see them doing that. But we'll see. I'm excited for that. Speaking of that, I have a little plug. I will be on Ring Royalty talking about the top 5 greatest moments of women's wrestling on SmackDown. You'll be surprised by my list, and I will put in the description when the video drops. It's not dropped just yet, but it will be, so be able to check that out soon. Back to SmackDown, Seth Rollins is backstage, and he says that Cesaro won't make it past next week. So he has a warning out there for Cesaro. Some women's tag team champions, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, are in the back. And all of a sudden, Natalya and Tamina attack them from behind and send them into, like, boxes, like, backstage equipment shit. I don't know. So what do you guys think of the attack right before the tag match? Not really much, right?
I mean, it was good. It was good. I mean, it certainly showed that, you know, Seth is a threat, I guess, kind of in a way.
It's so funny because it's so funny because when I mentioned Natalia, everybody that I talk to about her is just kind of like they're like they're not really the greatest, but I've been liking this. I've been enjoying this.
I'm really liking the team of the Italians, and like it's kind of like they're treating like their father's legacy, like bringing into like women's version, you know.
Yep, I actually saw. Go ahead.
And ding 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 for a second.
Ding dang 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 dang. So yes, we are in the middle of talking, but we need to take a quick break because just to remind you all that you will be hopefully getting your Friday Night SmackDown recaps hopefully every Tuesday. So this should be our new day where it's dropping. So prepare for that. But now that that's over, back to you, Carlos.
So I was saying, I saw a picture on Instagram like that Natalia posted, I think.
Yeah.
Of like their fathers hugging and then them hugging together.
Yeah.
So really cool.
I saw a picture she posted of Yokozuna and Owen Hart as tag team champions, and I thought that was cool because obviously Tamina and Yoko are cousins, and Owen and is Natalia's uncle. So very cool. So let's get to the match then. So the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, of course, accompanied by Nia's love Reginald, taking on a team of Natalya and Tamina. Tamina attacks Nia and attempts a splash, but Nia Jax has her knees up in the air. Shayna Baszler with a running knee to Tamina in the corner. Nia Jax is out on the floor and she accidentally runs into the ring post. Natalya puts... Who is this? Reginald. Yeah, that was him. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, who did she put in the sharpshooter? It was Reginald. Natalia puts Reginald in a sharpshooter, and Shayna Baszler attacks Natalia from behind. Tamina headbutts Shayna, Superfly Splash, and Tamina pins one half of the women's tag team champions. What do you guys think of the match?
It was good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it was alright. It wasn't great.
It's just like, I don't know. Like, the matches were good this week, but, like, there's nothing that, like, makes them stand out to me.
Yeah, there was no progression, really.
Yeah, like there's like, don't get me wrong, there was good matches and everything, but there's nothing like storyline wise that I really care about.
Yeah. Well, one thing that they could say with this is that Tamina and Natalia did defeat the women's tag team champions. Carlos, what do you think?
I thought it was a good match too. I'm glad that they finally. It was a tag team match, right?
Yeah.
It was yeah. It was. It's crazy because like I feel like that should have happened at WrestleMania if they should have won the titles. But like I guess they're like keep feuding. I feel like they're like so close to like getting those titles, but it's just like
So what do we think? This question is for both of you. What do you guys think of Tamina and Natalia? It looks like they're being pushed up the women's tag team division. What do you guys think of that? Do you think they deserve to be pushed? What do you think?
I mean, technically they're both like they're not veterans, but they've been in the company since like what 2011.
Like even before that, Natalia signed in 2008.
Well, yeah, because she was with the Heart Foundation.
And Tamina did sign in like 2010.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess after being there so long, especially with the program, it's gimmick that Natalia had. I'd say she deserves it.
Okay, how about you, Carlos?
Yeah, same here. Yeah, they also deserve it, but I would have liked to see the Riot Squad.
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta have to agree. Riot Squad would have been a little cooler to see.
Where have they been? Have they been on SmackDown since WrestleMania? I don't think so.
No, since the last WrestleMania, they haven't been on.
Oh, WWE forgot about them.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Guys, I posted a video on my Instagram story of like Liv Morgan like training. Like she's impressive.
I saw that. She's training with someone from, I think, AEW or Impact.
With Natalia's husband.
Oh, okay, so that was a different video then, because I saw one where she was training with a wrestler from another wrestling company.
It was actually like a whole bunch of them. It was Liv Morgan, Lana, and a couple other girls.
Okay, I have to check that out then. But yeah, I agree. I think that they do. I like the push. Obviously, the fans are really enjoying Tamina because when she jumped off the ropes at WrestleMania, everyone went nuts. But I feel like they kind of like have this moment where after WrestleMania, I don't know if you guys remember last year when they had Bayley and Tamina, and I don't know if that was necessarily right after WrestleMania. It might have been, but it's just like they push her and then they bring her back, then they push her. It's really strange. But I do like her and Natalia winning, and I do see them as women's tag team champions. So next up, Rey and Dominic Mysterio are backstage, and Dominic says he feels like he's living a real-life comic book, being able to tag team with his father. What do we think? Is this getting corny, or are we enjoying this?
I mean, it's just been going on for so long, it's kind of getting corny.
Okay. How about you, Carlos?
Yeah, same here. I want Dominic to turn on his father, right?
I do. I want to see that too. Isn't it fucked up that like we're like, turn on your father, kill him, But
I mean, technically, this wouldn't be the first time he definitely turned on his father. I mean,
what if Ray turned on his son? Oh my god, I would. Oh,
that would be interesting, Carlos. That would be good.
You're holding me back, Dominic. I need to be on my own. Or something. That would be cool.
This is what you get for not washing the dishes last night.
All right.
Okay, that would be funny. I like that.
This is for 10 years ago being a little brat. Go ahead.
This is what you get for not cleaning your room. This is what you get for leaving the house. For not leaving the house and not telling us where you're going. Another one.
Well, you know what I could see happening? This is a little idea I could have. Like, let's say they have like friendly competition, they fight and Dominic wins. And, like, things are okay, whatever. And then they fight again. Dominic wins again. And then Ray's like, fuck this. I'm the father. And he's just like, no, I need to win. It's kind of corny, but I don't know.
But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, what you said makes sense. Like Dominic needs a win. I mean, when was the last time he won after what? Seth Rollins at SummerSlam?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was last year, a couple weeks ago.
Because the thing is, like, there needs to be a good storyline for why Ray would turn on his son. So there has to be something at stake there. And
they need to have like a tag team championship match, and then like either Dominic gets pinned, Ray's pissed off, and then
or maybe Dominic accidentally costs Ray or something like that.
Here's what I could see happening.
That'll make it look like Dominic returned.
I have a good idea. What I think could happen is kind of like Carlos said. Let's say like there's like a distraction or something, and fucking Ray blames Dominic, and then they fight, and Ray takes advantage of Dominic, beats him up, and then he feels bad afterwards, and then Dominic just fucking shoves him, and then that's Dominic's heel turn. He ends up fucking up his father afterwards. So you get a little bit of Ray being an asshole, but then he's like.
Or what if it was kind of like what Owen Hart did to Bret Hart? What if it was something like that? I mean, sure, I know they were brothers, but you know what I mean.
I just feel like, again, like, I'd like the whole father thing. Like, why would you turn on your son? Like, Vince and Shane. They fought because Shane bought out Vince's company. So I'm trying to think of, like, a real good reason why Ray... And I feel like if Dominic just fucking annihilated his father after being pushed, you can understand why Dominic is pissed because he's being held back, and you can understand why Ray is pissed because his son's attacking him. So I think that. But anyways, we're fucked up. We're talking about.
Yeah, we're assholes. Yeah, don't take what we say.
We're talking about storylines that Vince McMahon would like never dream of, and it's ending up gonna end up being Ray and Dominic tag team champions for the next 10 years. So next up, we see another promo from Aleister Black. The first promo was about the dragon, right? And then this one is Chapter 2, Reality. Aleister Black says that we built a foundation of lies, and Father taught him the truth, and he could give us the keys to escape, but he won't. And then he closes the book. What do we think of this whole new gimmick of him reading a book and talking about a father? That's part one, and then part two is who do we think the father is, and will we see the father? Whoever wants to take a stab, try.
It's different. Okay? I'm not going to say it's the greatest gimmick, but at least it's something kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least we could say that. I'm not wrong.
I agree, yeah. And who do you think they're going to reveal the father? Do you think they're going to have, like, kind of like with Vince McMahon in 1999, the higher power? Do you think we will see who this father is?
If it's going to be Vince McMahon again, I'm going to be pretty big.
Oh my god, yeah, it's Vince still. I'm still fighting for The Undertaker. I'm still the higher power. How about you, Carlos? What do you think? Carlos is tuning out because he's playing with his fucking wrestling action figures. Carlos, can you please tell us and the listeners what match is going on in your casa right now so we can get into it?
I'm doing Sheamus versus Roman Reigns.
Oh, okay. So we understand now.
Oh, God.
We're now going back to Survivor Series 2015 live from Carlos's house. Oh my! I used to make like boxes as the ring, like shoe boxes. I like have the wrestlers fight on it. Anyways, we're talking about Aleister Black's promo, the reality.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
This woke him up.
It's like he's going back to his old day promo. That's how he used to do his old. But I mean, his old promos used to be like, oh, fight me, like somebody fight me.
Who do you think the father is that he keeps referring to?
Oh, like he's referring to like a wrestler or something? Or?
I don't know. I'm wondering. That's my quote. Do you think he's referring to a wrestler, and if so, who do you think it could turn out to be?
It's hard to guess.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna have to say maybe somebody from NXT maybe.
could be. We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Alexander Wolf or something. I know he's with Imperium, but still.
You never know. Next up, we have the WWE Intercontinental Championship on the line. We've seen this match at least 4 times now. The Intercontinental Champion Apollo Crews with Commander Aziz against former champion Big E. Big E's in control in the beginning, but Apollo Crews hits a slam to Big E on the outside. Apollo Crews slams E on the ring apron and goes for a splash, but Big E moves. Big E hits a big ending, but Commander Aziz runs in, attacks Big E, causing a disqualification. After the match, Kevin Owens runs down, and Crews and Aziz attack him, but KO and Big E get the upper hand until Sami Zayn runs down and hits a haluva kick to Kevin Owens, and then Sami gives Apollo Crews the Intercontinental title, but then Commander Aziz hits him with the Nigerian nail. A lot of stuff there, so let's start with the match. What do we think about the match?
It was good. I mean, I don't get the whole thing with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Why they gotta continue? Like, look, I get it. They have good matches, but you don't gotta continue this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want maybe to the Intercontinental Championship picture.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That would be cool. I'd like to see that, but I don't want to see just versus Kevin Owens. I don't want to see that again. Like, again, I love their matches. They're great wrestlers. But end the feud already.
I'm going to give you guys an opinion that I don't know how many will like, but I'm not a fan of Apollo Crews, man.
What? Are you? Oh, man, are you okay?
I just...
I kind of have to agree with Carlos on this. You're really not liking this?
No, because I don't get it. Because he starts out...
And he's like in his roots, because I was watching Raw like from like 2015 when he first debuted, and the commentator said like he was like Nigerian.
No,
like,
I know, but like it's like okay, it's kind of reminding me of like King Booker, you know, like with the Nigerian accent all of a sudden. I feel like every time I watch him, I'm like trying to really see what everyone sees in him, and I just don't. Like, I get bored. Me and Dory just turn on, like, we just look like it's boring when he's on. He does the flips, he does this, and then it's done. It's like, I don't care. And then disqualification, you know? I feel like maybe because I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, he's been around, though, since 2014. That's the thing. It's like, he hasn't done anything for me in over 7 years, and I'm just like, I don't care. I don't know.
His promo, I mean, it's not just the matches, it's the promos that he cuts too that are freaking hilarious.
But that's the thing, is it supposed to be funny, or are we supposed to take him seriously? That's the whole question about him. Because I don't get it. Like, it's like, is he supposed to be... Like, I know he's from Nigeria, but... And I speak like this all of a sudden. Like, I don't get it. I don't You know, I get that, but, like, if he did it when he first debuted, then I'd say, okay. He never did the accent before. He doesn't even sound like that when he talks normally. So I feel like it's kind of like making fun.
I can see what you're saying.
And then he has Commander Aziz, who was Dabba-Kato on Raw Underground. Like, I feel like it's just a corny... I wouldn't mind if there was, like, a little faction behind this. Like, if they did, like, for example...
I agree with what you're saying, because it did just come out of nowhere. Like, they had no previous, like, showing of it or anything. Like, it just suddenly started coming out of nowhere.
Like, I know...
Isn't from Nigeria, he's Samoan.
Who?
Dabba-Kato.
Oh, yeah, well, duh. But, I mean, I think like the thing is like he really is Nigerian, but he doesn't in his personal life even speak like that. So that's why it's like, what is he, Kofi Kingston? Like, I don't understand. And then I would like if there was like a small group behind him, because then you could understand like, okay, he's a pussy, he hides behind his group. But now it's like he just keeps getting beat, or there's a disqualification for him. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, you're right. It doesn't make sense. But I like this because at least it's getting him over again.
Yeah, I don't know. I do feel like this is a good faction if they were to make it like, because I saw somewhere posted on social media, it was like Omos, Apollo Crews, somebody else, because there is someone else from Nigeria, and they said that would be interesting to see. But I just feel like right now, I kind of want to see more from Apollo Crews. But I understand a lot of people like him, and it's okay. But what do you guys think of Commander Aziz? Do you like him, or do you think he just sort of brings Cruz's character down a little bit?
Sure.
What do we think?
I think it's different, kinda. I mean, if I'm being honest, a little bit, it just reminds me of Omos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess. So I don't know. It's kind of in the middle for me.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's not different because there's a bodyguard, but just him dressed up in the gear and everything was a little different. But how about you, Carlos? What do you think?
I think it's a good fit for him. He has his like own bodyguard,
Okay.
Call it the Nigerian now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that he says is "sir."
Oh, he's an idiot.
Yeah,
I guess there is some kind of backstory, like why, like, is he really a general? And then like they used to tell stories back in the day. Like, I want to know, like, is this just a random guy dressed up in a security guard outfit, or is this guy? Oh, his family. He was born in Samoa, but his family, immigrated to Nigeria, and he joined the Nigerian army, and he was in battle with Apollo, and he represented Apollo's family. Like, it would make sense if there was some kind of story, but it's just like, oh, this is Commander Aziz. Okay. Okay. And last question about this, Matt. Well, two more questions. Do we feel like with the disqualification, will we see another match down the line between Cruz and E?
Most likely.
Yeah.
I think they might make it a fatal four-way match.
They could with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Is that what we think is going on with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, well, we will have to see. We see Paul Heyman give a really cool promo backstage about how Daniel Bryan is the best. Yes, and he says, Daniel Bryan will not be on SmackDown. Or no, he says something along the lines, will Daniel Bryan be on SmackDown? And he goes, no, no, no. So Paul Heyman is really, really trying to get in Daniel Bryan's head. We find out next week we will see, obviously, Cesaro against Seth Rollins, and now we are in our main event, the WWE Universal.
Can I talk real quick before we get started?
Yeah.
So first of all, Roman Reigns' new theme song though, oh my god.
I'm just gonna say this. It reminded me of Seth's theme. Like, it reminded me of Seth's theme song of when he was the Messiah. Well, he's
No,
still.
but I like the part when it goes like when the beat drops. Like when it goes dun 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 dun.
I'm just saying, like, the beginning part of it. That's what it reminded me of. Wait, are we seeing Seth come back again?
I get that part, but like when the beat drops is like when it goes hard. Like whoa.
I have to listen to it again. I heard it once, and then
But you listen to it twice, it sounds like Roman Reigns, the Shield theme song. Like listen to it twice back to back, it just sounds like the Shield theme song.
Okay, I'll have to listen to that again. But yes, Universal Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and a new theme song, taking on Daniel Bryan. If Daniel Bryan loses tonight, he will be banished from Friday Night SmackDown. So Daniel Bryan starts off with a running drop kick. He hits some yes kicks, and he quickly tries to apply the yes lock, and then he hits a really cool running knee off the apron to Roman. Roman takes control with a clothesline, really just taking out Daniel Bryan. Daniel tries a Hurricane Rana. Roman Reigns off the top rope, but Reigns blocks it and hits a powerbomb. Roman Reigns knees Daniel in the corner. Daniel catches Roman on the top rope and hits a back suplex off the top. We see a cool Samoan drop by Roman. Roman goes for a Superman punch, but Daniel Bryan kicks him in the face before he can do that. That was cool. Roman Reigns then catches Daniel Bryan, who flies to the outside and hits a belly-to-belly suplex on the padding. Daniel Bryan hits a diving headbutt. Roman hits a Superman punch. A lot of action, guys, going on. Daniel hits a running knee and then stomps on Roman's face and applies the yes lock. Roman spears Daniel Bryan and applies a guillotine hold, and then Daniel applies the yes lock again. Roman punches Daniel Bryan, and then another powerbomb. He continues to punch Daniel Bryan endlessly, it seems like, and then Roman applies the guillotine, and Daniel Bryan passes out. Roman Reigns is still your Universal Champion, and as I wrote in my parentheses, I think a commentator said it, bye-bye Bryan. Before we talk about that, though, after the match, Roman Reigns goes to hit a concerto, but Cesaro hits the ring, and he hits Roman with a running uppercut outside, until, of course, Jey Uso attacks Cesaro, and Jey ties Cesaro up in the ropes, and then Roman does hit a concerto to Daniel Bryan. So, bye-bye Bryan. First, what did you think of the match? Carlos, I will go with you first.
I thought the match was freaking great. They both gave their all. Daniel Bryan left SmackDown on a good note with a great match, with a great competitor. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like that. I was just like didn't he just get a concerto at WrestleMania, but he came back like 2 weeks later. So
Yeah.
he's probably gonna. But Edge is all still nowhere to be found.
Can't blame him.
Did you hear how Seth Rollins roasted him? He was like, "Oh, he's probably in North Carolina somewhere hiking, petting his dog."
Yeah.
I was cracking up so hard.
Yeah. Because Seth Rollins wishes he could accomplish as much as Edge had in the amount of career that he's been in there. Because hasn't he been here in over 10 years?
Defending Edge hardcore. Calm down.
Money, 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 money. Sorry, I came hard. I'm sorry.
I think we got an Edge head over here, huh?
Listen. I hear you. No, but it will be if they do Seth Rollins and Edge. That will be a hell of a match.
He's not even gonna come back, man. He's done.
We'll see. Wasn't the last time we saw Seth Rollins? Wasn't he behind Becky Lynch in a picture? Doesn't he use the man as a shield half the time?
That's true.
Okay, so, anyways, back to the match, though. But Carlos, you really enjoyed it. It was a hell of a match, right?
Yeah.
Carlos is fucking pissed. I love it. How about Carlos, if you don't know, is a big Seth Rollins fan, and I am a big Edge fan. And Carlos and I have been going back and forth about this since the Royal Rumble. Who eliminated who in that match?
I think Edge didn't even eliminate Seth. I think Seth was... No, he did. It was Orton that eliminated him, I believe.
Yeah.
No, Orton was check it out. I don't remember.
I feel like it was. Let me go back and see. I was just trying to make a dig, but I don't think it was even true. Let me look. Who was it? Who were the final two participants in the Royal Rumble?
For Randy and Edge, because I remember Randy Orton was taken out in the beginning of the match, and then he came back.
He did. Wait, let's see. Hang on. Let me see. You're right. Hang on. Who got rid of him? Edge. No, Edge did eliminate Seth Rollins. See, I pay attention, y'all. Just saying. Anyways, okay, Dan, go ahead. Sorry. Your turn. What do you think?
Good match. I mean, I didn't like the way they had to send Daniel Bryan off like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know he's probably going to show up on Raw. I know.
I'm just saying, like, that was kind of a shitty way to send out somebody who's a former World Heavyweight Champion himself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but it was a good match. I would give that like a 9 out of 10 because that was a great match.
It was a good match. It was a good match. Carlos, where do you think Daniel Bryan is going to end up now that he's been banished from SmackDown? NXT.
Yeah.
Do you think now that would be interesting because if he does go down to NXT, he could be facing people like Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Kushida, yep, Karrion Kross, Finn Balor. I mean, we've seen that, but Pete Dunne, yep. Now, if he goes to Raw, like Dan thinks, he's gonna be fighting Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre.
Versus Grandma Elite, to be honest.
That would be interesting. Where is Lucha House Party?
Or Ricochet. What?
Oh, that would be cool. Ricochet.
It was put out in a show.
That would be really good.
Or Humberto Carrillo or Famous.
Yeah. So, but going back to go ahead, Carlos. AEW. Oh yeah, he could. He could go.
That's true. Which it's not gonna happen, but
You never know.
he's more loyal than Vince McMahon, but you know.
It seems as if the next person in line for the title is going to be Cesaro. What do we think of Cesaro versus Roman Reigns?
Cesaro versus Roman Reigns. That would be a pretty good match. I mean, I think we've seen it though once before, didn't we?
Probably.
But I mean, hey, now they're both more experienced in the ring and everything. Like, don't get me wrong, they're both really good wrestlers, and they were good wrestlers if they ever did face together. But I'm saying now they have even more experience in the ring.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a better match. I think it would be a really good match.
Yeah, I think it would be good. What about you, Carlos? What do you think?
Oh, I'm really excited for that. It's just I'm really mad that Roman keeps dodging.
Yeah.
Now I think Cesaro's gonna do something crazy on SmackDown that Roman's gonna have to not like Roman can't dodge him anymore.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I mean, I think he is going to be looking to get some kind of momentum since he was tied in the ropes. But it is interesting, though, to see that there's two storylines going on. You know, he has a storyline with Seth Rollins, and now he has a storyline with Roman Reigns. It's, what is he going to do? Seth Rollins is obviously going to get in some kind of involvement here or there.
Maybe Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus Cesaro?
Could be. Or you could see Seth Rollins and Reigns at SummerSlam.
Could be Seth Rollins versus Cesaro to figure out who goes against Reigns.
Could be, yeah. That would be interesting. Who knows? Endless possibilities. Before we go, I want to thank you all for listening. Wherever you are listening, you can find World of WWE podcast streaming pretty much everywhere. We are on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Breaker, pretty much anywhere you can listen to podcasts, that's where we are. We are also on Instagram, world.of WWE. Check us out. We post pictures and stuff like that. Twitter, I just created a Twitter account. I don't use it as much, but check us out on there. We are World of WWE on Twitter. Also, you can check out our YouTube channel, World of WWE podcast. If you look up World of WWE, we're still there. So just search World of WWE. We're the first picture you see. Come join us. We now have 279 subscribers as of May 4th. My hope was to get 580, I think. Or did I say 582?
I don't remember.
I think I said 580. So join us. Join us. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. And new content will be created. And if you hit the notification bell, you get to see it all. Almost done here, guys. We are also have a subscription service on Patreon. If you join us, this will help support the channel and allow us to create more content. With Patreon, there are different tiers, and our 3 tiers. Our first tier is for $5, and that's the super fan tier. Our second tier is $10, and that's the rest in peace tier. And our third tier is $3.16. And again, this will all be put in the description. Go on Patreon, subscribe, and you get all kinds of cool stuff. You can read it when you check it out. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Dan and Carlos, do you have anything else to say?
Have a good day, guys.
Yeah. Happy Cinco de Mayo for tomorrow. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. Well, thank you for checking us out and stay safe. And we will see you next Tuesday with our next Friday Night SmackDown recap. Stay safe. Bye.